Jason McFarland writes, about how many times will the cast watch their movie in its entirety while on the premiere tour?
Probably twice. I've talked to a couple of actors and say, yeah, like the first time, remember, a lot of people realize this. At a premiere, quite often for many actors is the first time they actually see their film. Mm-hmm. You know, they think, oh, they're right there with the director every step of the way. Sometimes that's true, but for most of them, it's not. And so they'll do one or two, and then not really the not really the rest of them.
Some actors don't like to watch themselves at all. Some actors, again, like there are some that won't even watch it once. There's some people who say, oh, I saw a little bit of it, I was there, I don't need to see it. It's just the artist in them don't want to do it. So I don't know if there's a clear-cut answer to that question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can imagine they wouldn't want to see it, like, you know, hey, I've seen the movie, or maybe there's some narcissistic actors I go every day. Mm-hmm. Probably not. It's more likely they see it once and they're cool.
It could also be that person that wants to keep analyzing their performance to see what they can do next.
That's a big thing too. All right, what's next?
Aston Hack writes, buy or sell Zac Efron as the new Baby Wolverine given that Jackman's leaving.
No, I don't see that. I mean, look, I'm one of these guys, so I'm very big on Zac Efron. I think this dude is loaded with talent, and he will be a mainstay for a long time. But as a young Wolverine, I don't think we'll ever go young. I mean, ask me again in 15 years, that might be a different answer.
Or ask it in a better way instead of calling him Baby Wolverine. When the question is like, what about him as Baby Wolverine? No one is Baby Wolverine, ever.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to see him as, I think he'll pop up in maybe like a Star Wars or something, but not.
I could see him showing up in a superhero film at some point, but not as Wolverine.
Child Wolverine.
What's next?
Dead James writes, what would you think of Johnny Depp as Doctor Strange?
No, I'm tired of seeing Depp in all these, look, I'm this crazy, kooky, kind of different kind of guy. Right. I don't want to see, look, we went through this whole thing about the rumors about him being Doctor Strange, and, you know, just because they weren't true at the time doesn't mean they won't, that it couldn't happen at some point in the future. Maybe it could, but honestly, no, I don't want him as Doctor Strange.
No, it's just like he sees it and he goes, oh, the character's name is Strange, I'm in. You know, it's like we don't need Johnny Depp to do that. But plus the fact we don't know how long Strange is going to be a part of this universe. You take him for a while. Johnny Depp's like in his mid-40s, right?
Oh, he's 50.
He's 50, yeah.
So, I mean, he's too old.
And don't get me wrong, he's a ridiculously talented dude.
No, I don't.
Ridiculously talented
great,
dude.
But it's just, again, the Doctor Strange, another kid, like we were just talking about with Gambit, a character that needs to be introduced to the universe, too. Let's get somebody a little younger, someone that we can accept as this character for a while.
Not a 28-year-old.
Not necessarily, but
yeah.
40 or so, yeah.
I'm going to say I don't mind the idea of him playing Doctor Strange. I wouldn't throw it out. I mean,
no, I wouldn't toss it out the window and go, this is stupid. But
he's had a bunch of bad career, like he's made his bed. Now he has to remake it, so to speak. So he's a really talented actor. I wouldn't throw him out as Doctor Strange. He might hit it out of the park. He's 50. He can knock out 4 Doctor Strange.
Every movie he makes that doesn't have the word pirates in it flops.
That's right.
It's true. Anyway, what's next?
William Parcell writes, do you think Cliffhangers lessens the enjoyability of the film and makes it feel like just a setup for the next?
No, not necessarily. Not if they're done right. Like, if you can have a cliffhanger and yet still have a story that feels completed. I remember watching the first Lord of the Rings film, right? And the film felt like a complete film, but it still ended with, you know, Frodo and Sam going over that hillside and seeing Mordor off in the distance. It's, okay, let's go. And then it stops there. And some people who had no idea about the books are like, what? Right. But to me, that was a great example of a very complete film, yet it had a cliffhanger. I think the last Hobbit film was the same thing. It felt very complete to me, but that cliffhanger of Smaug going off to the town that he's going to rip apart, so you can do it right.
Yeah, sometimes it serves, look at Inception. You know,
it
serves the movie in general. I do think that a lot of times that studios will just grab it and say, oh, here comes the sequel. Sometimes it's absolutely true, but I don't think it's not the case every time.
Or the best one in the planet right now is The Empire Strikes Back.
I was going to say that next.
That's like, that was like a perfect cliffhanger because you can't wait to see the third one, yet you must. 3 years.
But it was still completely satisfying as an own individual film. Yeah. Okay, let's take one more.
Okay, J.C. Collins writes, what does Power Rangers need to get you excited about the remake?
Cancellation.
Look, I've said this before, but I will reiterate. I do think this is a stupid idea by Lionsgate. The last film made $9 million, and even though I keep bringing that up, I get a lot of people emailing me excuses for no. $9 million is $9 million. That's the number. That's how much it made. That's how badly people wanted to see it. It was a $9 million film. But that being said, I have still said that the core mythology of Power Rangers, notwithstanding the putties, notwithstanding them, the core mythology of the Power Rangers is actually pretty cool. And if Lionsgate takes this, you know, Alicia Malone mentioned this the other day too. If Lionsgate takes that core mythology, gets away from the childishness of it, goes a little darker in tone, and adapts the same tone that Lionsgate has had great success with in their teen hero kind of series, whether it's, you know, whether it's Catching Fire, whether it's Divergent, whether it's something like that, and apply that, you could, and they are willing to tick off the fans of the originals. This is the big ball check.
Right.
You know, if Lionsgate's got the balls to say, you know, we are willing to annoy the fans, the diehard fans of the original TV series, because we'll think they'll like this once they give it a shot, and they go in a totally different direction using that core mythology as its base. Look, as much as I said it's a stupid idea, and I still believe it is, you could have something there. They could do something really cool there if they're willing to be gutsy with it. What do you guys think?
I mean, look, I could eat crow, and this thing could be good if they do that, if they change the tone of it all. Because for me, I'm one of the biggest advocates for the He-Man film. I think that if they mix both like a Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars for He-Man, it could really work. And the original cartoon had a guy and a tiger running around with, you know, a silly costume. So could it work from the mythology? Yes, but again, it's the same thing we always talk about: team, tone. But they have a huge hill to climb.
Big hill to climb.
Yeah, if they're all in the like pink Power Ranger, red, green Power Ranger, the suits, doing that kind of stuff, failure. If they try something new, they have a chance of getting a new audience. Like you're talking, even going into the young adult world, trying to attack that area, that's better. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to say, you know, the old Power Rangers is horrible and that people who love Power Rangers now.
No, not at all.
I'm
That's
just
not what
saying
we're
it's like
at all.
it needs a refresher, and in order for it to be a hit, they can't go back to that well.
Right.
So.
I agree.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.